lot of people have been saying it and coming to my streams that Warzone players or Call of Duty players are ruining Battlefield 6. I've never played a Battlefield game before. I've been playing Call of Duty my entire life. Call of Duty people are not going to come to Battlefield and ruin it. Why are we getting targeted? Why am I getting targeted for this?
I'll show you.
Because I can't get any kill streaks or anything like that, I like to go for clips. So basically, I'm not getting any clips by sitting on a flag and capping it. I'm just being honest. I'm not getting any clips by repairing my tank. I don't care.
What are you, 8?
Somebody said, how about you play Battlefield the right way? If the only rebuttal you have is play the objective, bro, I mean, I guess.
What?
And I kind of love it. All the Rebirth kids and all the Movement kids have already migrated over to the Battlefield community and already doing crazy clips, movement exploits, and just making insane rage baiting clips on Twitter.
Stop it, please, I beg you!
You're so awful.
You guys are awful. Holy Battlefield players are like this.
OG Battlefield players not gonna like this one. This is what happens when a CoD player plays. They don't like seeing the movement clips because they're afraid that other players are gonna adapt to that sort of movement. Well, I'm gonna be honest, you guys gotta adapt. It's just gonna happen, man. The game will always be successful if you cater to every single audience. Call of Duty people are not gonna come to Battlefield and ruin it.
Enough from the clown.
If there's two things I'm sure of in this world, it's that one, Nickelback never deserved hate, and two, you can take a streamer out of Call of Duty, but you can't wipe all the duty off the streamer. We have on our hands one of the strangest attempts to invade a franchise I've ever seen, all under the banner of "Stop Gatekeeping Us." Couple that with EA's innate ability to turn a one-step forward win into 2 steps back, and we've got ourselves one big question mark on what direction the Battlefield series will go with the release of Battlefield 6. Who will it ultimately try to please the most, the existing Battlefield community, or the Stockholm Syndrome squad set on terraforming Battlefield to look more and more like the game they keep complaining about?
I mean, people are just leaving Call of Duty in general. I mean, I think the player base is down, what, 60%, 50%? And you can just tell, bro, like, when it's just not made with love. Call of Duty right now is just, I don't know what they're doing.
Yes, the game that did this to me. Be like that game.
I'm Steve-O, and this is the fart mask.
Let's get into it. Now, I'm not turning this into a Call of Duty versus Battlefield which is better video. Play one, play both, I don't care. That should be a blisteringly cold take, but apparently some COD streamers don't see it that way. Luckily for them though, the Black Ops 7 trailer dropped to thunderous applause. From COD streamers that directly gain from getting people hype about it.
Dude, all right, for much more on Call of Duty Black Ops 7, make sure to watch the full-length Black Ops.
I honestly kind of feel bad for Tim here, just watching his own chat destroy what was likely supposed to be the next year's worth of content for him.
We're not even giving it a chance this time. Y'all are just like, no chance.
Let's be real, it probably still will be his next year's worth of content, and he'll still do just fine. I may have trashed his takes on battle royales, and he may somehow not recognize Dead Ops.
It's a Diablo Call of Duty? What the was that at the end?
But so long as he doesn't keep trying to codify other games, I still wish him the best. Anywho, when the Black Ops 7 trailer dropped, the tug of war was ignited further. Who should Battlefield 6 work harder to retain for the best chance of success? Battlefield fans, or the people that might play for a few weeks tops before slithering back home to the guy they keep swearing they're ready to break up with but never do?
Battlefield 6, I'm gonna be honest, chat, the multiplayer side is not what's gonna put pressure on the market.
Don't make me tap the sign.
It's just fun because it's fresh. But overall, that's not gonna keep my interest. That battle royale is that's what I'm excited for, man.
Why do you care what some COD streamer says, Kingerd? Just don't watch him. He's probably just rage baiting for views. Well, I thought the same thing. The guy's takes are so contradictory and so juvenile, he must be grifting, right? But the more I watched him, the more I was reminded of two things. One, COD streamers can't help themselves but wish every other game were like COD, then complain to their armies of viewers when they aren't. And two, big streamer plus big audience equals big exposure. It's not a secret Battlefield 6 wants that COD crowd, and if you want to infect as many COD players as possible with Battlefield fever, content creators, but especially streamers, are going to be your patient zero. But when some of these guys give feedback that can be chalked up to, if this Battlefield game weren't Battlefield, I'd be more into it, that's when the community starts to get nervous about how EA will respond.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be my honest review of Battlefield 6.
What do you think?
Very nice. Look at that.
Will they recognize the disconnect between COD streamers and Battlefield players, or is that sweet 100 million player goal so aggressively pinned all over their office like the control sticky notes, they feel like they have to listen if they want to poach the COD crowd? So while I had a very fun time playing the beta for the most part, there's still plenty that concerns me about what this game will be like at launch, and which target audience is going to win the war for Battlefield's soul in the months to follow. As for which direction Battlefield 6 should go, if you ask Call of Duty streamer Faze Swagg, well, just listen for yourself.
I've never played a Battlefield game before. I've been playing Call of Duty my entire life.
This is very important. Do not forget this. This very important context will help us decipher the bile that we are about to wade through.
I don't really understand the gatekeeping on Battlefield 6 and just Battlefield as a community in general. You should want to welcome anybody who's new. I'm not sitting here telling Battlefield to change what Battlefield is. That's not what I'm saying.
All right, yeah, if you just want to come play Battlefield and don't want to try to use your platform to change it, then sure, let's hear what you have to say. He's gonna say, let's change Battlefield, isn't he?
They think this guy's hacking? He's on mouse and key. I just think Battlefield players don't have the internet or don't have Twitter, so they have no idea what's been going on in the gaming world. They have no idea how good players are nowadays. They a bunch of grandpas.
The COD and Battlefield series are almost exactly the same age, and you and I are almost exactly the same age, so quit with this forced old versus young dichotomy. The how do you do, fellow kids rhetoric might work on a streaming audience. Maybe it's an act, maybe that's how he actually talks, I don't know. But for the rest of the world, it comes off like the guy who graduated 3 years ago but still tries to stand in the student section. Swagg says if you think this person's gameplay looks suspicious, or if you don't want quick, snappy gunplay in Battlefield, it's because you're a decrepit old hermit that terrorizes door-to-door salesmen. Shoot, I got called old and an unk for my takes in my last video, and I'm younger than all of the COD streamers in that one of them by more than a decade. I'm not hating on or making fun of these guys' ages, the point is age has nothing to do with it. If Swagg's take that people only want slower Battlefield gameplay because they're old had any merit to it, I'd be the one simping for battle royales, tight maps, and faster pacing, not them.
And I kind of love it. All the Rebirth kids and all the Movement kids have already migrated over to the Battlefield community and are already doing crazy clips, movement exploits, and just making insane rage baiting clips on Twitter. They don't like seeing the movement clips because they're afraid that other players are gonna adapt to that sort of movement. Well, I'm gonna be honest, you guys gotta adapt. It's just gonna happen, man.
No, we don't. In fact, if zippy movement is required for an FPS to be fun, I question how good of an FPS it really is when it comes to its other mechanics. Like, I'm not here to say that all movement shooters are bad and they need to slow down. They have their place and they have their fans, but Battlefield is not its place, and the Battlefield community historically is not its fans. Positioning, teamwork, and use of the sandbox are the keys to winning a Battlefield game, not 6 slides and movement exploits. This kind of promotion of higher skill gap solo play is the exact opposite of what Battlefield stands for. Go look at who's saying, good, Battlefield doesn't need this, and who is saying, if you don't like more movement, you're old, get good. One side shows care for retaining Battlefield's identity, the other wants to keep decreasing the margin of variance between competing franchises. If you want all your games to play the same, why does Battlefield have to be the game that folds and changes itself in this standoff? And if Call of Duty is so perfect to you, why do you care what Battlefield does at all?
Obviously, you're gonna get an influx of people who are just rushing and just very kill heavy. We enjoy that style of play of just playing really fast. I like it. I like when they make those type of clips. It brings the viral clips to Battlefield, makes people want to try it more, makes people want to play it more.
You've probably noticed this COD streamer harps on clips a lot. Imagine overdosing on COD so hard you think it takes movement exploit clips to get people interested in a game. In fact, he even outright states he doesn't want to play objective because he's busy chasing these kinds of clips.
Because I can't get any kill streaks or anything like that, I like to go for clips. So basically, I'm not getting any clips by sitting on a flag and capping it. I'm just being honest. I'm not getting any clips by repairing my tank. I don't care. There's not a right way to play the game.
Say that again.
There's not a right way to play the game.
Okay, cowboy.
The Assault class are the frontline killers who punch through enemies' defenses.
This class is all about being a menace to the vehicles hunting your allies. They're also the only class capable of repairing
The support class is there to pull your ass out of the fire, throwing down supply crates.
Recon is our tactical mastermind who provides vital information to the squad.
There's not a right way to play the game.
Is the plan really to bring in 100 million of these? To be fair, Swagg makes the point that for some people, just getting kills is how they can contribute to a team win, even in objective-based modes, and he's right about that. It ain't much, but it's honest work. But here's the thing, Swagg's not looking for kill numbers to help the team, he's looking for kill style to help his content. He makes this priority very clear.
Saying as a Call of Duty player, the reason why I even fell in love with video games to begin with at the baseline was simply because I like getting nukes, or I like going for something in game that I can strive for and really shoot for. Now, as far as what Battlefield is, it's not that. I think Battlefield should have kill streaks. Thoughts, everybody? I like to go for clips.
Have you ever once considered that Battlefield just isn't the game for you?
I mean, I guess.
Am I the crazy one here? Thank God DICE isn't listening to that. He's convinced a lack of COD kill streaks means he doesn't have anything other than movement clips to strive for, but dude, if you've ever even hopped off COD long enough to look at your own dashboard, you would know Battlefield games do get clips. Have you ever heard of an only in Battlefield moment? The rendezvous where someone ejects from a jet, shoots another one, then gets back in his own? 18 million views, dog. Quad runs with the boys and dodging a rogue jet at the last second?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What was that?
Jumping on an aircraft, planting C4, jumping back off and parachuting to safety? How about diving out of an airship, parachuting, then getting a 1, 2, triple melee kill? The things that require not only quick reactions or skill, but also creativity with the sandbox to achieve? Aren't oddly specific challenges the bread and butter for variety and longevity with Warzone content? I bet you would have even more opportunities for crazy content in Battlefield if you were able to look past the lack of COD movement and kill streaks. But no, if it ain't spamming slide cancels and armor plates, it ain't content, brother. This is why EA doesn't need to listen to streamers that don't know Battlefield, man.
A game will always be successful if you cater to every single audience. I'm sure even the Battlefield devs would agree with me over some of y'all in the comment section below.
They don't. Movement from the beta is getting nerfed before release, making jumping and sliding more situational so they are no longer ideal options for engaging in gunfights. So EA is listening to their fans with movement, huge dub. No wonder COD streamers have been crying on Twitter the last couple of weeks.
Oh, that's real nice.
Y'all gotta stop saying to slow the game down. It's nice right where it's at. Battlefield shouldn't just cater to the 40-year-olds. I'm gonna be honest, bro. They shouldn't just cater to the casual dads. I'm gonna be honest.
Now, I'm not 40, I'm not even 30, but I'm old enough to understand the concept of not everything is made for me. If I don't like the way something is, instead of demanding that thing change to appease me, I just go to something else. It's not hard.
You want the impossible.
It's just like I did with modern COD. I fought to keep the series from straying too far, I lost, and now I rest. Move on. And you know the best part? That hypothetical target audience that I described at the end of that video, it fits this guy like a glove. We want to sweat. We want to make content. If it's not fast, it can't keep our attention.
You're sweating. You're sweating.
Most of us can acknowledge that if something caters to a different audience, it may just not be for us. Why can't you?
A game will always be successful if you cater to every single audience.
What game is that, Swagg? Truly, what game exists right now that caters to every single audience? Besides Age of War, of course. What identity would a game for everyone even have?
Nothing.
Can't be too mature, can't be too childish, can't be too hard, can't be too easy. Even if you narrowed this statement down to multiplayer FPS only, like he probably means, you've still got factors like map size, movement, abilities, types of weapons, ADS versus zoom, so many options for so many different preferences. The only theory I have on why somebody might still believe this near universally mocked idea is if they're used to siphoning most, if not all, of their gaming experience from one single game.
I've been playing Call of Duty my entire life.
Having a favorite and sticking to it's fine, but even the guy that only plays Halo or only plays Counter-Strike knows the world isn't going to get delivered to their doorstep. If they want different experiences, they're going to have to expand the catalog. Sure, make a case for user-generated content like how Roblox is considered less of a game now and more of a platform for disrespecting the age of consent. But when a game hones in on its own strengths and differences from other titles, it pushes the series to keep innovating, keep giving us the much-needed variety in today's military FPS space. CoD and Delta Force have already gone down the path of selling their franchise's soul to chase mass appeal, and I just don't think a few weeks of praise from CoD streamers before they run back to CoD is worth losing Battlefield's identity over. But wait till you hear what Swagg did like, and it'll help you understand better why I made this video.
They did a great job with including, obviously, having really big maps for conquest for a lot of the players.
There was exactly one big map in the beta, Liberation Peak. I imagine all of them would feel big to a primarily CoD player, but truly only Liberation Peak gave us the open areas and full vehicle sandbox we would expect from a Battlefield map. I have my issues with it, like I think defenders have way too much terrain advantage in a couple of sectors, but for crying out loud, it was the only one in the beta that lets you spawn a flying vehicle, and every tank ride wasn't squeezing through narrow alleys where there's openings every 5 feet for a trigger-happy Urukai with some C4 like it's Helm's Deep. Let's hear what Swagg has to say about the other maps, which were mostly made up of tight lanes, buildings that don't collapse so you don't dare mess up the flow of tight lanes, and, oh yeah, tight lanes.
But also making a lot of small maps and a lot of fast-paced gameplay for a lot of the people who are just used to that in general and who like that type of gameplay.
Translation, I liked the maps that reminded me of Call of Duty. Where have we heard that before?
If you're a Call of Duty guy, you're definitely gonna like the fact that like you're all really tight in a little map and you're bobbing and weaving. If you're a Call of Duty guy, I've
been playing Call of Duty my entire life.
I couldn't agree more, boys. I think the CoD players are exactly who are meant to like these maps more. Seriously, if you showed me screenshots of these with a gun to my head and said, correctly guess if these are Battlefield or CoD maps or I'll shoot you, I'd be a dead man. I would confidently bet my life these are CoD maps and I'd be wrong. Condensed urban areas are fine in moderation, especially around objective points, and we don't want the map to be so open we're stuck in a vehicle fodder respawn loop, but when so much of the map is taken up by places you can't access, buildings you can't destroy, and the rest is hallway Tetris with hardly any room for flanking or reasonable vehicle maneuvering, I mean, no wonder the CoD streamers keep complimenting the fast gameplay. These are just CoD maps, just like 2 or 3 of them smushed together. It makes me shudder to think that apparently only 3 out of 9 launch maps are going to have open areas for that all-out warfare, vehicle play, squad positioning, and breathing room that Battlefield's supposed to be known for. But it's fine, because learning how to stabilize the chopper so your team can spawn on you and get support kills from the sky just doesn't give as exciting of content for clips, does it?
I'm gonna be honest, I just hate tanks. I don't care. I'm not a tank guy. I hate tanks, personally.
After all, this is who we want to win over, right?
That is the dumbest idea you've ever had. You have had some doozies.
In the current era of CoD, they love having just shaky guns for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Can you say that again? Just the way you said it.
Shaky guns for some odd reason. I don't know why.
No shit.
But I genuinely enjoyed how just smooth it was to shoot your gun in Battlefield. That is key. It was very clean. It was very smooth. As an FPS, it should be like that.
Keywords.
As an FPS, it should be like that.
I think he's conflating his FPS experience with his CoD experience.
I've never played a Battlefield game before. I've been playing Call of Duty my entire life.
Well, as a Battlefield game, no, it shouldn't be like that. At least not as much as it was in the beta. I see they're nerfing the recoil on automatic fire before release, nerfing the shotgun, and working to make the weapons actually feel different, which is good. Different weapon classes should be useful for different contexts and ranges, and in the beta I just didn't feel like they were. But I want to see them take weapon strengths and weaknesses a step further with something I'm certain would make COD bros go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Battlefield Studios. Lock the class weapons. The community has told you that unlocking them removes half the utility of the classes and therefore squad roles, the backbone of Battlefield's teamwork focus. And then you say, why not both? We'll let you use both, don't worry. You then proceeded to hide the one locked playlist behind the custom search on your bargain bin Hulu UI, and you couldn't even select locked weapon playlists in custom search.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
All the other playlists didn't specify that they were unlocked weapons playlists, so the unassuming player probably wouldn't have even known to look for it. Right, and my dogs eat kibble every day, but since they don't stand up on their hind legs, pull a steak out of the freezer, and slap it on the stove top, that must mean they prefer kibble over a seared medium steak. Look guys, I know you want to be able to sell a $20 AR weapon skin to everyone like Call of Duty does, not just people who main assault, but your casual insistence on unlocking unlocking weapons is invoking the Streisand effect, when trying to suppress something just makes people look into it more. Learning the wrong lesson from 2042 and lessening the importance of class selection is just removing yet another barrier between making Battlefield and CoD more alike than they need to be. Speaking of making weapon viability more like CoD,
and somehow they say that's ruining Battlefield. Is making a meta loadout class setup on YouTube really gonna ruin Battlefield?
Yes.
Meta loadouts shouldn't exist in Battlefield because Battlefield weapons and gadgets should be designed to complement the role of the class that uses them. The disconnect between role-based objective games and this kills for clips streamer runs so deep. If everyone's running around with the same laser beam meta they see streamers posting, the weapon sandbox is broken, class roles are half broken, it's an unnecessary self-sabotage to Battlefield's identity. Granted, the streamers aren't the ones who make the OP build, they just showcase it, but this video is about why Battlefield Studios shouldn't be listening to CoD streamers. So don't drip feed meta weapons for cheap player retention and YouTuber content. Again, if they do this, I think it's because all that money, the money is the motive. Battle Pass unlocks, weapon skin bundles, that kind of thing. I mean, dog, they sold a $30 pay to progress shortcut bundle in 2042. They would love nothing more than to monetize progression for popular builds. And if not this way, it'll be something else. I'm waiting to see what heinous monetization EA adds to Battlefield 6 at some point.
How'd that get in there?
But who cares about game design and series identity as long as it gives you something to upload, right, Swag?
The whole premise around a meta is there's always going to be a top gun in the game. In Battlefield, right?
No.
If you're a content creator, you make a video on saying that this is the top gun. It doesn't ruin the game at all. I don't know where this even came from.
Let me tell you something, D.
Yeah, brother?
Why don't you come close?
We don't care about your content. We care about Battlefield staying Battlefield.
Now, I may be so apathetic about modern CoD that I don't even plan on making a video about Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, Arkham Asylum, Advanced Warfare, so call that bias if you want, but tell me what series you think this describes. Maps made up of honeycombs of narrow shooting lanes, majority of the combat is close to medium range infantry encounters, plans for annual releases made by 3 teams that rotate every year, a long-running free-to-play battle royale mode, and the start of a platform for the series, not just a game. Where have we smelled this stench before?
Oh, damn. Now I see it. Now I see it.
This big new plan for the series doesn't sound like ambition, it sounds like replication. Battlefield Studios and EA, read the room. One of Call of Duty's biggest criticisms right now is that it lost the series' identity that attracted so many people to it in the first place. People are getting burned out with the annual releases, the over-monetization, the sweaty silliness, the lack of self-awareness that gave us this. Yes, this is actually a piece of marketing for Black Ops 7.
Garbage!
You guys accomplished the tremendous feat of turning pessimism into optimism almost overnight just by revealing a new Battlefield game that looked like it was at least attempting to be grounded in reality, and it couldn't have been at a better time as far as Call of Duty's overall sentiment goes. We live in a time when franchises returning to form or going back to its roots gets people excited. They're sick of change for the sake of change. So have enough faith in your own franchise to recognize that when people are arguing over things like movement or map sizes in the beta, rule of thumb says your existing fans are mostly going to be all on the same sides of those debates, the sides that advocate for the least amount of change. That's not to say you can't evolve the franchise to keep up with modern times, but if you stray too far away from what your community wants to try and scoop up the iPad kids like Faze Swagg, or more accurately, the target demographic he seems to want to appeal to, your fans are going to dip first, then all you're going to have left are players that will absolutely jump ship the second Call of Duty course corrects and put out a game that appeals to them again. You will be their plan B, and nobody cares about plan B unless plan A shits the bed. It'll be so ironic that if by trying to replicate COD's success, Battlefield ends up replicating COD's failures too. Because then you're not retaining anyone from either community. If I summarize this video in a sentence, it'd be this. Battlefield should not listen to COD streamers like Swagg, but I'm worried they're going to anyway. This will they, won't they makes me have no idea what this series will look like over the next couple of years. But I've hardly even mentioned one of the hottest topics of controversy surrounding this game. If you want to see me argue with big streamers over why Battlefield 6 doesn't need a battle royale, among other things, click this video right here. Seriously, thank you so much for letting that video do so well. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the message in it was heard loud and clear. Thank you, channel members and patrons. As always, thanks for watching. Carry on, you kings.